The Miami Dolphins are making major changes as the National Football League free agency period begins, and the team's roster is already looking very different heading into the 2026 season. One of the biggest headlines came when the Dolphins decided to move on from their longtime starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, a shocking move considering he once led the league in passing yards, touchdowns, and passer rating during his time in Miami. The decision means the team will absorb a massive $99.2 million dead cap hit, the largest in NFL history, but it signals that the franchise is entering a new era. Shortly after announcing Tua's release, Miami quickly moved to secure a replacement by agreeing to a 3-year deal worth $67.5 million with quarterback Malik Willis, who previously played for the Green Bay Packers. Willis is expected to compete for the starting role and potentially become the new face of the franchise. Meanwhile, Tagovailoa didn't stay on the market for long, as he reportedly signed a 1-year contract with the Atlanta Falcons, where he will likely serve as a veteran option behind young quarterback Michael Penix Jr. The Dolphins' changes weren't limited to the quarterback position. Miami also made several moves to strengthen depth across the roster. At tight end, the team re-signed Greg Dulcich to a 1-year deal and added Ben Sims, a 6'5" run-blocking tight end who previously played for the Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. However, Miami also lost tight end Julian Hill, who is heading to the New England Patriots. On the defensive side of the ball, the Dolphins added multiple defensive backs including Darrell Baker Jr., Lonnie Johnson Jr., Zane Anderson, and Alex Austin, players who are expected to compete for roster spots while contributing heavily on special teams. The team also brought back linebacker Willie Gay, who played in every game for Miami last season and provided valuable depth at the position. Another key addition for Miami is pass rusher Joshua Uche, who signed a 1-year deal with the Dolphins after previously playing for the New England Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs, and Philadelphia Eagles. Uche had his breakout season in 2022 with 11.5 sacks and will look to rediscover that form as Miami attempts to rebuild its defensive front. Special teams also saw a change as the Dolphins signed kicker Zane Gonzalez, effectively replacing longtime kicker Jason Sanders and kicker Riley Patterson. On the offensive line, right tackle Austin Jackson agreed to restructure his contract, accepting a pay cut that creates about $8.5 million in salary cap space for the team while keeping him in Miami for the 2026 season. However, while the Dolphins were busy adding players, they also watched several familiar names leave the organization. Edge rusher Bradley Chubb is reportedly signing a 3-year deal with the Buffalo Bills, strengthening a division rival's defense. Former Miami punter Jake Bailey has also joined the Atlanta Falcons on a multi-year contract, while linebacker K.J. Britt is headed to the Patriots and linebacker Channing Tindall has signed with the Atlanta Falcons as well. Another surprising move saw Miami trade safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets, clearing nearly $19 million from the payroll and continuing the team's effort to manage its tight salary cap situation. Offensive tackle Larry Borom is also leaving Miami after signing with the Detroit Lions. Despite all the roster turnover, the Dolphins are not expected to be aggressive big spenders in free agency this year. New general manager John Eric Sullivan has already warned that the team may focus primarily on affordable role players rather than high-priced stars due to salary cap limitations. That strategy suggests the Dolphins are preparing for a gradual rebuild rather than a quick turnaround. Miami still has several positional needs, including cornerback, pass rusher, guard, and additional offensive weapons for their new quarterback. With the NFL draft still ahead, the team could address many of those gaps with young talent. For Dolphins fans, the biggest storyline remains the transition from Tua Tagovailoa to Malik Willis and what that means for the future of the franchise. If Willis can develop into a reliable starting quarterback, Miami could quickly regain competitiveness. But if the experiment fails, the team may need to search again for its long-term leader under center. One thing is certain. This offseason has already become one of the most dramatic in Dolphins history. And that's the latest update on Miami's busy free agency moves. If you want more daily NFL breaking news, trade rumors, and free agency updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and never miss the next big football story.